I am a boat driver. I have been doing it for some years now, and I want to share some experiences I have had in the course of my work. This first story I'm coming to narrate happened 4 years ago. This pretty lady ordered a ride around 11 p.m. When I got there, she was looking very messed up. Her clothes were torn, and her bra was exposed. A crowd had gathered around the house, and when I got there, she quickly entered and told me to drive. Mostly, I don't interfere with people's lives. But I saw that she was crying in the back seat and I asked her what happened. Apparently, she went to her boyfriend's house to surprise him only to find a different lady there. She said the lady was undressed with only a cloth wrapped around her body, and out of anger, she started fighting with her. To her shock, her guy separated the fight, dragged the said lady inside his room and locked the door, leaving my passenger outside. She went round insulting and screaming until she was tired and she ordered for both. How my fellow man can treat a beautiful girl like this was beyond me. This girl was in pains and spoke a lot about how much she has sacrificed for him and how he hurt her. I parked the car and spoke to her for some time. She told me that her parents would kill her if they knew where she was and that she had told them she was going out for an all-night service. She convinced me to let her spend the night at my place. When we got to my apartment, one thing led to the other. The girl saw that I was attracted to her. She took off her clothes and we did it. After everything, I went to drop her off at her house. We became friends after that, and she visited a few more times, but we later grew apart and didn't stay in touch. My next strange experience happened around 2019 or 2018, somewhere in between. I mostly work at daytime during weekdays and I work at night during weekends. Areas like Osu are always lively at night and during the weekends. This couple ordered for a ride around midnight to a popular pub at Osu. When we arrived, they said they liked my services, so they took my contact and asked if I work until 3 a.m. That was when they planned to return home. I told them I was working until I see the sun. I wasn't getting passengers that night, so I found a easy place, parked around and dozed off. I got an order around 2 a.m. before the couple called me. When I returned to pick them up, the two were drunk, but the guy was much more drunk that he couldn't even walk. His t-shirt was all soiled with alcohol. Thankfully, he didn't vomit in my car on the way. When we got to the house, he vomited into the gutter in front of the house. The lady said she couldn't get him inside the house on her own, so I should help them. I parked my car and helped her get her boyfriend inside. When we entered, the guy just fell on the bed and slept. The lady thanked me and paid me, and I was off. The following Friday, they called me again. Now that they knew the fare, I just turned my boat off and drove them to their destination, after which they paid me. During the week, the guy messaged me on WhatsApp and we chatted. He asked me about my relationship status and if I was single or not. I told him I wasn't in a relationship at the moment. As the conversation went on, he asked me more questions about relationships and sex and asked if I have experienced the threesome before. I told him it's something I've heard but haven't done before. Believe it or not, the guy was willing to share his girlfriend with me. He said it was something they both wanted to do and they didn't want to do it with someone they already knew or was close to them. He told me that the day I picked them for the first time, they saw how nice looking and neat I was and they were willing to try it with me. I couldn't let this chance pass me by, but I wanted to be sure he wasn't joking around. So I pretended not to be interested until he called me and spoke on phone with me. I saw that he meant business. That Friday, I came over to their place. I was feeling shy since it was my first time doing something like this, but I tried to play cool. We started chatting about normal things like football and politics at first. Then the girl switched on some pornographic videos on the television. The guy motioned for me to kiss the girl, and I did. He just left us to do our thing while he sat back watching. We went on for about 5 minutes before he joined us. I don't want to go too much into details, but we both took turns on her, after which all three of us continued to the bathroom and did it there again. That day, when I got home, I wanted to delete their contacts and block them in addition because their freakiness level was too much for me. But I would lie if I tell you that I didn't have fun. We have done the threesome more than 10 times now, and on the third occasions, this girl added another girl to make it a foursome. As for this driving business, if you do it over a long period of time, it's not small things you will see and experience. I can share some more stories if your audience are interested.